Hello to you. Thank you for joining me. My name is Amanda and I'm very new here on YouTube. This is my third video and it's filmed right after my second. So if you came from that video, hello again. Very nice to see you. In this video, I'm going to show you how my planning system looks at the moment. In my last video that I just filmed, I was going through what my planner needs are. That's what I'm calling it. Why do I plan, basically? What is it that I want to achieve with my planning? And what is it that I need to achieve that? Because we all function differently and have different minds that work in different ways and different preferences and all this. So I was basically explaining how do I do things and have done in the past. But in this video, I want to open my bullet journal and actually show you how I'm doing things right now. How does things look? Yeah, and I'll just get right into it. So my system contains of these two books, if I can call it that. This is a ring binder in personal size. No planning takes part in this. I don't like to plan in rings because the rings are in my way. But what is nice about a ring planner is that it's very customizable. I've been in the bullet journal system for many years, and one thing that I didn't like about it was how, from it being a bound book, you can't really take stuff out and bring it into the next book without ripping the page out. That's why I went back for a period to the ring planner, but I don't like planning in rings, even though I slit all of my inserts so I can rip them out like that. But even with that, I don't like it. So it's only for reference. So I will go into this a bit later. My system starts with goal planning. That is pretty new to me. Well, I've always set goals, but it's never been as big a part of my system as it is right now. And that is because I have not many things in my life that are set time-wise. I have a part-time job, but I don't have working hours, as in set working hours. I can do the work that I have to do at any point. I work from home. I take care of my son at home. We can do anything at any time. Yeah, basically my whole life is just one blank page, and I need to figure out where everything goes and what is even going on the page. So that's why I turned to goal planning. Okay. First, I want to mention that I was watching Brandy plans, which I've been enjoying for years because she's also really into functional planning. And she was sharing, probably around New Year's actually, how she was goal planning. And that really helped me, and it was really simple and it didn't take me a long time. And I sat down, I was in the ring planner at that point. And I sat down and I wrote what are my priorities in life. And then per each priority, I made one sheet where I was talking about that priority and what it contained, just in a few words, and then how I prioritize it and what my aim is. And then I was listing goals and related projects. And then I was taking notes on how to track it. And that really helped me in my everyday life be aware of how I spent my time and what I was not prioritizing enough, but it never really got into being a part of my planning system. Then around 2 months ago, I found Sterling Inc. on YouTube, and I was watching her videos about how she's goal planning in her Hobonichi. Her videos are amazing. I love that they're long and she's explaining everything. And the way her head works is so similar to mine. So having her explain how she was like mapping out her entire life, she's also a mom, staying at home, taking care of her child, running different businesses. Like there were so many similarities that I could basically take her system and put my life into it. So that's what I did. And I started out with just having 2 blank pages and just dropping everything that I could think of in my head around goal planning in here. Anything that came into my head around goal planning, I was writing it down. And that's a general thing that I do. I need to empty my head of everything that's going on in there before I can take the important stuff from that brain dump and put it into something useful, because my head is really cluttered a lot of the time if I don't regularly empty it on paper. So I was brain dumping anything that I could think of. And then after that, I was going over it and saying, okay, what are my priorities? And taking the stuff here and kind of putting it in a prioritized list. And having done the prioritizing that Brandy Michelle explained earlier in the year really helped me here. So I was listing out the ideal me that Sterling was talking about. And I was dividing my life into different sections. So I have one that's my relationship with God and Jesus. I have one that's about my marriage and my kids and home stuff. And then I have a section for my life that's outside the home. And that's how I prioritize my life. So doing this was really helpful. And already here I felt so much more knowledgeable about what I wanted to do. And then what she was talking about was taking all of this info and putting it into something that looks really pretty, in my opinion. She called it a goal matrix. And the way she explained it was, think of it as a syllabus if you're in university and you have different subjects and you have different things you have to do throughout the semester, and look at your life like that. And that really spoke to me. So I have 8 different areas of my life here, and they're prioritized. And then I was writing down, okay, where do I want to be 1 year from now? What do I want to work on in a quarter? What do I want to work on monthly? And then weekly and daily stuff. So this was really helpful. And it was so nice to see my ambitions over here translated to daily to-dos. Then she explained how she took this overview and broke it down into quarters. So because I found out about this system in August, I was thinking, okay, well, I'll just do 4th quarter of 2020. That's perfect. And I'll just start on my October goals a bit before. So I was again listing all of the different areas of my life over here. And then I was setting goals for what do I want to achieve by the end of 2020, which is the end of the 4th quarter. And that was terrifying, but also felt really good at the same time. And then I tried to break down, okay, what do I need to do monthly to accomplish my goals for quarter 4? And when I had done that, I went into a spread for October and setting goals for what I wanted to do in the month of October, and then taking the goals and tasks that are here and breaking them down to, okay, what are the weekly tasks that I need to do in October, and taking this and breaking it even further down if I could, and say, okay, what do I want to do on a daily level? And that was so nice, and it really helped play into the structure that I need every day when I plan. Then every month I then make a calendar view. So this is October, and because I was kind of working on this in September, there's a lot going on here on the 1st because I wrote stuff here that I was working on in August too. I don't know exactly how she does this, if she does all of this in 1 month or if she takes it week by week. I think maybe she does most of it in the beginning of the month and lay out different tasks on different week. And that's what I tried to do here. I was looking at the spread for October and going through all the monthly goals and tasks here and thinking, okay, when does it make sense to do this task or fill this goal? And then I was plugging them into different weeks. And then for each week, and I'm doing this as I go by because this is so new to me, so I thought that would probably be the best way to go. But I have like a list of big goals that I want to achieve, and then I assign them to a day. And that's so helpful because I have all of these things that I want to achieve in my life and I want to work on, and it overwhelms me. But when I look at this, I have like a couple of things a day that I need to do, and that's manageable. And it just gives me the motivation to do that one thing, because if I do these few things that are on my to-do list for today, I know that I'm actually working on all the things that I want to work on in my life and going towards all of my goals. And that's so encouraging. And I've been in this for a few weeks now. I can see it happening and it's amazing and it feels really great. So from this grid, I go into a weekly grid that looks like this. I changed pens. That's why it looks a lot different. So I still have my different areas of my life here. And then every week before it begins, I go in and I fill the first couple of days with to-dos. And I have some on here that are daily, that I want to do every day because it's a high priority for me. So I want to see it all the time. This is to use my prayer journal. That's a new thing for me. So that's why I'm really working on it. And then I try to assign stuff from here in my weekly here. And this is very helpful when I then plan my days. And then in the middle of the week, I'll go in and fill out the rest because then I can catch up on stuff I didn't get to do in the first half of the week in the next half. So when I go in and plan my daily spreads, which looks like this, I just look at here. Like for today, all I had was use my prayer journal, take Adam to the park to play outside, and film 2 videos. That's very manageable and it feels so easy when it's just like that. So like doing all of this planning, goal planning, before I'm actually setting up my daily page just makes it so much easier. I don't have to spend so much time thinking about what I'm supposed to do. I just look here. So of course I'm still learning to use the system, but it's really working for me so far. And then I go through my days. I set up my day the night before preferably. And then I use my weekly spreads for tracking. And I track how I spend my time and what I get done. So my weekly spread is not planning, it's tracking. This is all the weekly planning that I do. And then I go back and I look at my monthly log that I have. So this is the log for October. I write in pencil before the month starts if I have any appointments, and then when I come to that day, I erase it and I write it in pen if it happened. And if it didn't happen and I don't want to think about it, I just erase it and write whatever happened that day. And if I want to put in that it was cancelled, of course I can do that. That's how I'm using the monthly log right now, as a log, but also as a overview of what is going to happen during the month. Because right now I don't have a calendar view that I like, and I'm not going to have that until 2021. When I've set my goals and I've assigned them to all the days and stuff, I need a lot of space to map out the different projects that I'm working on, both work-wise in my job, but also personal stuff and YouTube like this and Instagram. And it can be anything. It could be me reorganizing my closet. And what I do is when I set up my week, I set up this spread that I showed you with my goals per day. Then I set up the tracker, and then I set up my daily pages, and then I end with a weekly review. And then whatever paper I need to map out projects, I do that after here. And the reason there is nothing here is because I already have a lot set up. I've been in this planner right now since the middle of September. Exactly 100 pages I have used in 1 month. So there's a lot of project pages in here and they look very different. This was me planning out the different inserts that I wanted in my reference binder. This was me planning out my first video. So I have like a lot of pages already set up here. So everything at this point goes into one book. And that's not how I would prefer it to be right now, but that's how it is because I don't want to go out and spend a lot of money on planner stuff that I'm going to use for 2 months until the end of the year, because I've already figured out what I wanted to do for 2021 and placed a huge order from the Hobonichi store, which I've dreamt of buying from for 4+ years and never done. Hobonichi is placed in Japan, so I've never done it before and I'm really excited, and it's gonna be here in 2 days and I'll do an unboxing, and I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, so for now we're just in this one for all the project planning, and hopefully this will last me till the end of the year. I would prefer to have different notebooks for different projects, because if this was my finance notebook, working in this when I work on our finances helps my brain only focus on that one thing. Having something physical in front of me that is limited to one subject kind of reflects in my head too, and I focus way better. And then we go into tracking, which is the last part of my system. I track on my daily page. Right now I have 8 habits that I track daily. And the reason why I track them on my daily page is because I'm forced to rewrite and look at them every single day. And that reminds me. And that's what I need when I'm working on a new habit. I need to be reminded that this is something that I want to do, because otherwise I'll simply forget. So these will change depending on if I figure out that I don't want to do it, or it gets to be a habit and I don't have to think so much about it. And that's a very flexible system to have for your daily page. So when I track something with the purpose of reminding myself that I want to do it, I always track it on my daily page. If I track something on my weekly page, which I don't do at the moment, but when I have done it in the past, it's usually because I want to see which day something lands on or how often I'm doing it. So it's not to remind myself to do it, but just to log when it actually happens, because I want to use that data for something. And the same goes for monthly and yearly trackers. And this is probably where we are going to look into this one. This is a reference binder, and I'm in it daily, and I am that because I'm updating trackers. And I just want to flip through it quickly. All of the inserts are from Peanuts and Planet Co, and most of them are bought and some of them are freebies. And most of these will be blank because I just printed them this week and set them up. And I thought it would be nice to show you before all of the personal information goes in here. So in the beginning of this, I have pages that I talked about before that I made after watching Brandy Michelle's videos. And then I have one page per priority there. And I've kept that in here because this is still true, even though I further worked on it in my bullet journal. So the first category here is my relationship with God, and what is here is basically a tracker of when I use my prayer journal. And then I'm also tracking when I actually get to read my Bible, which I want to do every day, but in the life that I have right now, I don't manage to prioritize it. And then I have a list here of Bible studies that I want to do, just an ongoing list for inspiration. Then we are in marriage, and I'm not going to show too much because it's kind of personal. But I have different trackers for different things that we are working on in our marriage. And then I have a tracker for when we actually go out on dates. And then I have a spread for date ideas. Third one is our kids, or kid right now and kids to come. What I am tracking here is the things that I'm working on doing consistently right now, which is to feed him, to have him play outside, and brush his teeth. That's very basic. That's where I am. So I'm tracking that. This is a yearly tracker that is day specific. So it's here it's Sunday to Saturday, but you can have it Monday to Sunday too. And then it's a week down these columns. So week 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 all the way up to 52. And then I've just listed the same stuff every day, because I think there will be a pattern to stuff I get to do in the weekends versus in the weekdays. And it's easier to see rhythms like that on this page than if I was tracking it on this one, because I can't see when a week starts and ends easily here. So that's something I really think about when I want to track something, is how do I imagine the data is going to look like, and what do I really want to know about the data? So, because then I have a better idea of how to track it visually, so that I can retrieve the data or like the resume that I want from the data. Then I have a health log. This is for my son. And then I have a blank spread for notes and ideas, which is if I do a brain dump one day and I have an idea that I don't want to lose track of, but I don't know when I'll need it, I'll list it here, so I have it to reference in the future. And then I want to make a list of kid-friendly foods that are easy to go to and that my kids like, my son right now. And then I'm gonna make a list for activity ideas, a running list of things I need to buy for my kids. I don't buy a lot of stuff, but some things are necessary. And then I thought I would make like a perpetual calendar for what do I need to buy for my kids at certain times in year, like before summer, buy swimwear. For my home stuff, I have tried to section it out, our finances first, and I'm using this fold out to track spending. So on this one, I'm gonna track our spending on groceries and eating out. And I'm tracking these in 2 different colors, so I know on a date if it's red, it's groceries, and if it's blue, it's eating out. And I'm tracking them together because when we use more money on groceries, it's because we eat less out. And when we eat more out, it's affecting our groceries. So it goes hand in hand. And then I also want to track my personal spending and the spending that I do on the kids. Then I have this fold out that is a finance overview, and it's for the year. So you have the month from January to June here, and then on the other side you have July to December. I haven't filled it out, and I don't think I'll use it exactly as she made it to be used. Then I have a running list for things to buy for the household. And then on this reoccurring tasks, which is all the months listed here. And then you can list the tasks here, and it goes on the other page. I want to use this for like car stuff, cleaning things that are not regular, stuff like that. I have a list for new meals to try because I'm not very into cooking. I like to eat most of my food raw. I enjoy vegetables and I don't really enjoy meat. And it seems like a lot of work for me to put into cooking when I just like to eat raw carrots and bread, basically. So yeah, but I want to start cooking more for my family, and I wanted to like take some time once in a while and sit down in Pinterest or something, watch YouTube videos and just be inspired, and then list out the meals to try and where I can look them up. And then when I try something and we actually like it, I'll list them out here so I can reference them later. And then I have 4 sheets of this grocery guide, which is a freebie. And I just want to write down the food items that we usually have in our house so that if I'm doing a big grocery shop, then I can reference this and just think of is anything missing in our pantry. Then I have a vehicle maintenance log for our 2 cars. And I just have noted that I need to book certain things for the 2 cars that we have. And then we go into planning, personal and planning. So I am tracking how much I sleep because I know I do not sleep enough and I want to see how bad it actually is. Then I want to track my water intake because I have my entire life been really bad at drinking enough water and it really affects your body. Then I have a tracker for just me time, which is time that I get to spend just alone, not because my son is sleeping, but because someone else is taking care of him and I just get to sit and do nothing or do something I want to, like read a book or something. And then I want to journal more. I've tried morning pages and I've tried journaling at the end of my daily pages and my bullet journal and stuff like that. And I see that when I do it, it helps me from not getting overwhelmed. Planning also really does that for me, but journaling does it in a different area or something. I don't know how to explain it. Then when I'm done with this bullet journal at the end of the year, in here I have a spread for like the daily, the weekly, the monthly and the quarterly planning routine. And when I'm done brain dumping all the stuff that I do on those pages, I'll take that info and I'll write it neatly here. So I have a routine to reference. Then I have a list of books to read. And then I want to have a list of the books that I have read. Then I have a health log for myself. And then just like I wanted to make a perpetual calendar for buying stuff for the kids, I thought it would be nice to have one for like birthdays and anniversaries and stuff like that. Then we go into ministry. I have like a dashboard kind of thing here that I haven't filled out, which is basically information on the company of the church. Then I want to track when we have church and when we have fellowship during the week, what's happening, who's attending, what we're talking about, anything related to that. So I have one for each kind of meeting that we have. And then I again have a blank page just with brained up stuff that I don't want to let go of related to ministry. Then, because I work with the ministry's finances, I have the same sheet here. And then paycheck is one of the big things that I do, so I wanted to track that separately. And then I wanted to take the time and sit down and think, okay, what are the things that are happening, both in like the ministry fellowship part of the ministry, but also in the financial part. What are the things that are happening at a specific time each year, like accounting is happening at the same time and such. And then we go into social media. So I have again a dashboard and I want to list out my names and tags on social media, and then I want to track some statistics. So I'm going to track Instagram and YouTube statistics on this one. I have a notes and ideas page again here for things I don't want to forget and let go of. Then I have a tips and tricks. So if I hear someone mention in a video something that they've learned and I want to remind myself about that thing. And then I have one for my own lessons learned. I can really sit down and explain exactly what went wrong and how I solved it. I have a Instagram post ideas list, a YouTube video ideas list. That right now I have this stuff in the bullet journal, but in the new year I'll have it here. My routine of what I go through before I upload to Instagram or YouTube is going here. And then any ideas for time-specific content during the year. So like if you wanted to do Vlogtober or Vlogmas, or if you want to have a giveaway. I have my birthdays in April. So if I wanted to do like a yearly giveaway on my birthday, then note that here so that when I'm planning content each month, I can reference this and see different ideas for stuff to do. And that's it. I love post-its, so you'll always see post-its somewhere in my planners. So that's that. I hope this made sense, and I hope that you found it inspirational or learned something or got interested in planning for yourself somehow. I hope you enjoyed a lot, and I was happy to have you. If you made it this far, please say hi in the comments. I would really like to say hi to you. And if you want to come back for more content, please remember to hit the subscribe button so you get notified of my coming uploads. They're among this unboxing from Hobonichi that I'm really looking forward to. So I wish you a very happy, inspirational and planner-filled day, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.